Good afternoon. This is FactWire News with your afternoon update for April 8th, 2026. Just the facts, no opinion.
Leading developments this afternoon. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire remains in effect through its first full day. The White House and Iranian officials both confirmed that limited commercial tanker traffic has begun moving through the Strait of Hormuz. Shipping trackers from Lloyd's List and Refinitiv report that 4 large crude carriers have entered the strait from the Persian Gulf side as of 2 p.m. Eastern Time. U.S. Central Command stated there have been no hostile naval incidents or interference with the vessels in the past 12 hours. The agreement requires full reopening of the waterway and an immediate halt to attacks on commercial shipping. Oil prices have continued to ease throughout the afternoon trading session. West Texas Intermediate crude is currently at $111.80 per barrel, down more than $4 from this morning's opening level and more than $5 from yesterday's peak above $116. Brent crude is trading at $113.20. The Energy Information Administration noted in its midday briefing that the potential return of up to 2.5 million barrels per day of Iranian supply is already being priced into the market, assuming tanker traffic normalizes without interruption over the next 48 to 72 hours. Global inventories remain adequate in the short term. The 2 U.S. Air Force crew members from the F-15E Strike Eagle, shot down over Iran on April 5th, have been transferred to a medical facility in Germany for continued evaluation. The Pentagon provided a brief update stating both pilots are stable and in good condition. The Department of Defense has not released the names of the crew members and continues to classify details of the downing and the rescue operation for operational security reasons. The Joint Special Operations Team that carried out the extraction worked with regional partners. New retaliatory tariffs that took effect at midnight Eastern Time are now producing measurable effects at U.S. ports. Early data released by the Department of Commerce shows processing delays for steel, aluminum, and select electronics shipments arriving on both the East and West coasts. Several major manufacturers have issued statements indicating they are assessing the added cost impact of the new rates on their supply chains. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average are showing a modest recovery of 0.4% in afternoon trading as markets monitor the combined effects of the ceasefire and the tariff implementation. NASA has confirmed that the Artemis II uncrewed mission remains fully on schedule for its planned launch later this month. The Orion spacecraft has completed final pre-launch integration checks at Kennedy Space Center. Flight controllers report all systems are performing within expected parameters, following last week's successful 72-hour thermal vacuum chamber testing. The mission will send the spacecraft on a full loop around the Moon before returning it to Earth, serving as the final dress rehearsal ahead of the crewed Artemis 3 lunar landing attempt scheduled for next year. In additional news, the Wisconsin Supreme Court is scheduled to hear arguments tomorrow in a case involving state legislative district maps. Court officials confirmed the hearing will proceed as planned, with no changes to the docket. Separately, Easter weekend travel volumes are expected to be among the highest on record, according to the Transportation Security Administration, with more than 2.8 million passengers screened at U.S. airports on Friday alone.
That concludes today's afternoon update for April 8th, 2026. For the latest developments, check back this evening for the evening update. All information sourced from Reuters, the Associated Press, the White House, Pentagon, Department of Commerce, Energy Information Administration, NASA, and Lloyd's List. FactWire News. Just the facts, no opinion.